Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. My name's Dare, and today we're going to be covering Conan Exiles' newest update, The Age of War. Now with Chapter 1, where your personal hoards its treasure and protects against improved challenges and purges in Chapter 2, then fight against the invaders in your own sieges in the final chapter. Not only that, we got my most anticipated feature, which is clan hordes, clan emblems, and also the combat and weapon updates, which have like bloody and intimate affair with changes to weapons, durability, rarity of stamina cost, health pools, and more. Not to mention, combat has become faster paced, more deadly, and more tactical than ever. Also, as well, they've got new battle passes and bizarre cosmetics and Twitch drops. But you know what? We need a server. So we need to head over to our good old friends at Gportal. So let's go do that. So once you're over at the Gportal website, guys, I want you to click on Rent a Server and then scroll down till you see this area here. Next off, we're going to type in Conan, and we're looking at any one of these will do. Probably this one here will do. We don't want console, so you've got PS4, PS5, and Xbox. So for PC, I'm clicking this one. I'm going to go for 10 slots. If you want to create your own configuration, you can. So we'll do a custom configuration. From here, you want how many days you want it for where location you're going to be in, and then how many slots you want for your game cloud. Now, I highly recommend that even if you're going for 10 players, you up it a little bit more, so you can get some extra RAM on the server, so it's a little bit more stable. But anyway, we're going to go for 10 on this one. Click continue. Make sure you pay and just click order. Done. Once done, you wait a couple of seconds while it's all set up. Now your product has been activated and your server should look very basic. So we're going to click on basic settings at the top left and then scroll down. For the branch selection, we're going to stick with Conan Exiles. We're going to name our server and how many slots that we want to allocate. Now, if you did select a lot more, you can have between 20 or 10, so you could split it 10 here and then 10 on another server. For example, your map, you're going to choose which variation of the map you want. I'm going to go with the Exiled Lands. Server default map, only look for mod maps. Now, we'll cover this in another video. For our save game, we've got our current save game, but if you uploaded your previous save, you can there. But please note, if you're using other mods, they might not work. So you may have to be careful with that. Add a server password if you so required, and an admin password. Make sure your Archon is enabled unless you want it off for some strange reason, and you change your Archon password to whatever you want. For login queues, enables a login queue once the server is full. That's up to you if you want that on or not, if you have a busy or not server. I'm going to leave it on because I guarantee 10 slots are going to be filled up pretty quick. Disconnection grace time, I usually set this to 200 seconds. PvP Blitz server activates the Blitz mode if you want it on or not. Max nudity is up to you. As a streamer, I'm going to go with partial. Don't want to get those takedowns. For Battle Eye, I always make sure that's enabled. Server community all, but you can change that to a little bit more. Like if you want a bit of roleplay, experimental, hardcore, so on and so forth. That's up to you. Your server region, I'm going to make sure it stays in Europe. The tick rate is at 30. I'm going to change mine up to 60. The language, I'm going to make sure it's in English for my community. Server message of the day. Now for this one, I'm just going to delete that and go welcome to my test server. Just like so. Max ping. Now if you have players from America as well as Europe on, I would leave this as 0. But if you don't want it like Asians and all that on, make sure you put that to like 100, 200 ping on there. For if you want to whitelist people, you just enable this button here and then get their Steam 64 ID, which you can find on their Steam profile, or you can go to Steam ID websites and just pull it straight from there. For this one here, allow family shared accounts. That's up to you, but I'm going to turn that off. Event system enabled. Yes, we want that left on. Creative mode is admin only, but you can have it for everyone if you so call required. If you wish to add broadcast messages, you just click activate every 10 minutes. Please hit that like button. Yeah, something like that, and then you just click add once that's done. But make sure, guys, before you do any of these changes, make sure your server is still off. Okay, you don't want to like do it while it's on. It might not save, or you may have other issues. All right, you can do server transfer, and it will import characters to the server, and export is always allowed. So I'm going to leave that on because I want to bring my other character in. Can I import directly from the same server? That's up to you, but I'm going to leave that off. Everyone can cheat, leave off. Logged out characters remain in the world, yes. Durability multipliers, stability multipliers, the food multipliers, and so on and so forth, all the way down. You can change these as you see fit. I like to play as is. When you get down to here, though, you can set whether land can be claimed by certain players. Now, that's up to you. I'm going to leave it as off. When you die, what do you drop? I'm going to go with only what's in my backpack. Everybody can loot corpses, yes, and max building decay times, they're all fine. NPC mind reading mode, you know, that one's just set to none. I'm not sure what that actually involves. Chat message length, chat food control, you know, and so on and so forth. Then you got NPC stuff that you can mess around with, the sandstorm if you want that on or off. Scrolling down, you got structures, NPC stuff, crafting multipliers, yada yada yada. Now, if you want to adjust these at any time, you can just go 2 or up to, I think it's 10, but it's up to you. I would highly recommend just leaving as is unless you know what you're messing about with. But feel free to experiment. I think it's between 1 and 10, like most servers. Dogs of the desert spawn with dogs. Set how many dogs of the desert. So like that, we're going to have that on. Cross the desert once changes the first spawn point in the world. That's up to you if you want to like start at the beginning every time or not. Enforce rotation rate while roaming. That's up to you. I would leave all these as is. Avatars. If true, avatars cannot be downloaded. Now, I'll leave this off. I'm not interested in avatars. Can be damaged. Yes, and most of this stuff is as is, you know. Rotate to target sends velocity. That one there I would leave as is. It can cause issues sometimes I found on the server. Path following send target velocity. That's up to you as well. Leave as. I would just leave most of them as is unless you want to mess around. If you do have any issues with your server, I'll show you how to reset it, or you can check my other video on how to reset your Gportal video. Gportal server. So going down, we got region allowed Africa, allows logins from this region. I'm going to turn that off. You know, Asia off, Central Europe on, Eastern Europe on, Western Europe on, North America, Oceania, and so on and so forth. For disable building abandonment, this one's up to you. Buildings won't be abandoned, but if you want, you can turn it on and then buildings will be abandoned. So that's up to you. I'm going to leave it as is. And then you got your fraus, how close they can stand to each other. So I would recommend putting this one down to 300. Makes it quite interesting. Clan sizes, like I would normally say, if you've got like a 10 slot server, set it to 5. You got two clans on the server. But if you want one big clan, which I don't really see the point of, you can put it as 10. Going down, combat mode modifier, you can set it to PvEC or 2. That's up to you, whatever way you want to do it. Then server voice chat, if you don't use Discord and you're still in the 90s, you can use the server voice chat. Going down, you've got a lot of basic settings still, target locks, all that kind of stuff, KKF time. Now this one here, time in seconds until an idle player will automatically kick to the server. Now I would say for this one, put this up to 5,700 if you have just friends. If you have an open server where you've got randoms on, leave that standard. Okay, scrolling down some more, you got your food nutrition level, starvation, and most of the basic stuff as well. Same as the Frau DK time. Now remember, it's all in minutes, so you can mess around it. Or I think this one might be actually seconds. It's a pain. I wish they were described a bit better, but hey, you know, it's just as the devs give. Going down, basic here, you got minion population. Now I like to put this one here up to at least 100, so there's a higher population. So minion population per player, change that to 10. Minion population cap cleanup is 60, and the events can see. Right. So admin can see all. I wouldn't really, and none can see. So leave it as admins, unless you don't want your admins to see, or so on and so forth. Enable follower rescue on land claim only. If set to true, players can rescue followers only on the land they or their clan own. That one's up to you. I would leave off, but you know, I've had a few times where we've had to turn it on. Enable followers rescue and build exclusion zone. That's up to you. And going down some more basic settings. It's up to you if you want to change these and mix it up a little bit more, but I would leave as is. Enable building destruction capsules. This determines where any player building, place, or placeable found within the protective area of a new camps will be destroyed or not. I would leave blank. Like that. Same going down, just leave them as is. You don't have to mess around with these things. It just keeps it interesting. Now the anti-purge system, this one is where it gets really good. If flagged, buildings allowed during purge. I would leave that off, okay? But if you want to build while the purge is happening, it's up to you. Purge level, I would definitely leave this at 6 as standard, tech prep times and so on and so forth. But feel free to change these up, give them a little bit of flavor, see where you end up. Scrolling down some more, when it starts at the weekends, weekdays, and so on and so forth. Up to you when it does. Say midnight's fine. You know, PvP is enabled, so I'm going to turn that off. But if you want to enable PvP, you can, you know, like what day you want to do it. So like you can have it on Saturday. PvP is only enabled on a Saturday. Scrolling down some more, we got PvP mode and what time they start in certain regions, you know, and when they end, restriction, damage times, all that kind of stuff, and more PvP stats all the way down. Now into this one, which is stamina settings, I would leave as is unless you want a lot of changes to happen, but this is a pretty in-depth server settings if you ask me. Into the storm now, we can... Storm adds elders. That's up to you if you want on or not. I would leave as is. It's quite fun. Siege elders activates and deactivates the siege weapon of elder things. I like to leave this on because I like my base to get destroyed as quickly as possible. Even though, hey, you know, means I can go somewhere else and start new. Going down, a lot of basic settings, but feel free to mess around with them. This one here determines where buildings can be damaged during a storm. I would turn that on if you have the other one on as well. Now, so scrolling down some more, we got some basic multipliers and siege ratings and all that kind of stuff. Leave as is unless you don't know what you're doing. If you want to show where the floods are on the map, I would definitely have this enabled, but if you don't, you want a surprise, turn it off. Okay, so then here, enter the desired IP port of address, which should be wishlisted for server transfer. If this one here I might cover in a different video. It's a little bit more explaining. So once done, hit save. Okie dokie, server has been saved. And next we're going to go to the next area. Configuration files. Now here, you don't really have to do anything, but you know, if you really want to, you can have a look through. It's basically most of the stuff we've already gone through already, like your mod list, your blacklist. Then you've got your Windows server settings, things like that. You know, it's the exact same what's in the basic settings and all these other areas. Okay, for mods we're going to cover in another video, guys, but I will say this, if you're watching this video, to get to mods, a lot might not work with the new update. Make sure you check that out on Steam for each mod before you install it. So for the next file, we're going to go to auto update, make sure that's on and it's saved. For restarts, I would click here and then just type in here, daily restart, and I want it at say 6 in the morning or something like that, when nobody else is on. You know, between, 6 in the morning, done. Then just click save, and you'll see there. For backups, I would always recommend creating a backup every couple of weeks if you can, when something major happens on your server or whatnot. Always make one at the start as well. Now, backups will stay for 28 days and then they'll be deleted, and the limit is up to 50 gigabytes. So just make sure you know what you're doing with all that. For permissions, if you want to add someone here, like it has to be another Gportal user, you can add them there. If you need to contact support for anything, Gportal support are usually really good. So hit that write a ticket button up there at the top right, and then just tell them the issue that you have. Okay, so back down to the My Server. Once that's all done, we'll be back to this area here. If you actually need to do anything like upload a save or anything like that, you can do it via the FTP system. It probably will switch over very soon to a new style of system. And if you have another Gportal server, you've probably seen that already, where it's just drag it into the website. Now, once done, make sure you just click that online button and your server will start up. Thank you very much, guys, for watching another Gportal tutorial. My name's Dare, and don't forget, you can get 10% off your server using the link in the description. Thank you very much.